Greetings everybody and welcome back to another livestream recap. As you might know, I'm ImagineerDave, the host of this channel, and I work towards Minecraft's most realistic railway. That being said, today I'd like to take you into the episodes 191 to episode 200 of the Create SMP series. So let's dive right into what happened, starting at episode 191. In episode 191 I started with some declaration of a nearby area. This little piece of land between the signal gantry, the inner docks and the road to the actual bridge needed some filling in, and this time around I chose to make it green instead of grey. I decided to add a little bit of forest here with a path along the waterline and some parking spaces. With the at the time available tree schematics, I tried to make a mixture where you wouldn't notice that the same tree was used multiple times, and I think it works quite well. Even though when you really look at it, you can see that it's the same tree over and over again. The path leads to underneath the bridge and will continue from there on, but that's for another episode. With some restocking done, it was time to embark on a little train ride aboard the new and improved BR41. What to do after adding a very cool new locomotive type, you might wonder? Build a good stretch for it to run on, of course. In episode 192 I worked on a rail line that actually connects my base to Cozy's. This rail line first follows along the branch line and continues from the branch line station through a bit of forest, past some lakes and around the mountain towards Cozy's base. The eventual rail line took quite some effort to build and will be changed later on, but I think that's for another video. Now that the rail line has been finished, we of course need some wagons for the passenger service. Luckily enough, I designed some Edelweiss coaches off stream earlier, which I could now fit an interior into. In episode 193, they were furnished and built in-game. With this wagon set being done, it is the 7th service that has been added that starts and terminates in Shepperton. After this new train set was built in game, I added some more BR41s to the fleet, with which I did a little test run. Episode 193 was almost over, but just before the end I managed to set up the redstone system needed for the terminus function. This makes sure my trains can uncouple, get serviced and recouple. In episode 194 it was time for more rolling stock. This time it was actually a mixed goodstrain that was built over on the sidings. For a long time I had the idea of setting up a schedule to have shunting goodstrains in the yard, and I figured, why not start with it? The wagons of this goodstrain are already set up to be compatible with the eventual shunt yard, but since it will be a while before that is finished, I already wanted some more special movement in the area. As you might know, this series is a little behind on the actual streams, and because of that, the cinematic video on the goodstrain itself is already out. Go check the link in the video description or click in the top of the screen. In episode 195 I started on some much needed station decoration. The platforms of Shepperton have been feeling empty for a while, and with an upcoming world tour I wanted to bring some more atmosphere into the station itself. First up, station signage. For my station signage I custom designed PNGs through Illustrator to then load them in as a painting. Stick this onto a copycat build board and tada, a station sign. The logo designs are based on old British station signage, and since I now have a base, they are easily changeable. Of course, besides this station signage there is more to a platform, including a ticket/newspaper gazebo. I decided to place a new gazebo right opposite of the main entrance of the station. Afterwards, I finished it off with some benches, and that was most of the station deco done. With the station more done, let's work on something else that's unfinished, the main street. In episode 196 I wanted to work on the opposite side of the main street to, well, actually make it into a street. The first building I wanted to work on was the corner building towards the station, since this was the most complicated one. This was the place where the top and bottom side of the retaining wall would lead into, but this allowed me to make two entrances. One for the base floor and one for the housing above. This first building took a while, but from there I did some work off stream to get ready for episode 197. And in episode 197 it was time to make the area ready for yet another job for the schematic cannon. Building the design buildings in-game. After building these in-game, I jumped straight back into the design world, which is in creative mode, to work on more houses in this row. Even though at the ending of episode 197 I made a start to this row, in episode 198 I continued working on the row of houses itself. In the stream I first drew sketches for these houses in Illustrator, which really helped me to get the total idea in my head. This led to the overhanging tower at the corner building, for example, which in itself is a nice way to show off that this is the corner building of the row and tells that the street forks off. In episode 199, just in time before the world tour at 200, it was time to get these houses in game. Eventually, I want this area to be a whole city, but for now it feels enough like a street to properly show it off. After these houses were done, it was time to quickly add in some more station decoration like clocks and the platform numbers. And after that I installed the computer graphic announcement system to add more sound to the area. A change which I really love and that actually adds so much atmosphere to the area. With episode 199 behind us, it was time for the biggest one yet, episode 200. There are already 200 episodes of live streams that have gone by, each 2 to 3 hours on itself, so at least 400 to 500 hours of potential watch time. It has been a long journey, but yet to date still remains fun for me to do, so that's what's most important, I guess. In this episode 200 I did a world tour with a lot of viewers that were separated in 2 groups. Afterwards, everyone could join together and play until, well, the server died, I guess. Before this livestream recap comes out, I actually published a video that recaps the world tour and the day itself, so I'd advise you to go check that out. With that being said, that was it for this livestream recap. In this recap I feel like a lot of progress was made and I think it mostly has to do with me wanting to deliver a good experience for episode 200. It has been crazy that we got so far and maybe even more crazy how much you guys support me. So again, thank you all so much actually for your support because it really helps me to stay motivated for this project. If you want to check out these live streams, be sure to join my Discord down below to get notified when I'm live, or follow me here on YouTube to get community notifications. If you are looking for schematics, some can be found over at my Discord and others at my Patreon page. Again, I'd like to thank you for watching. This is ImagineerDave, signing off. So, bye bye!